How do you actually differentiate the Haro and digital PR?
It's going to be quite hard to have any journalist link directly to your product or category football page.
What's working in link building right now, you think?
As the space becomes more crowded with more people trying to win links this way, the journalists are going to fall back on the trusted.
It's really hard sometimes to actually convince the client that because the client, they say, hey, we asked you guys to actually give us a link to our
building. It needs to be a holistic strategy. So you're correct. Any sort of PR link building, whether it's expert quotes or running digital PR campaigns, 99.9% of the time it's going to be a link to the homepage.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Agency Growth Lab. We have a fantastic episode lined up for you today with a special guest, Chris Panteli, the founder of Linkify, who is an SEO lead and prefer to focus exclusively on link building and digital PR. In this episode, we will be talking about the different link building strategies, how to leverage them properly, and brand building for your agencies. So welcome to the podcast, Chris. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks, Rowan. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm very good. It's Friday, so end of the week.
That's great. That's great. So yeah, Chris, let's try to get into your journey into the SEO. Like, how did that go? Let's start at the beginning. How did you get first into the world of SEO? Was there any funny, memorable moment you can think of?
Yeah, so I graduated from university with a degree in economics, and then I took over the family fish and chip shop business here in the UK. So I did that for about 12 years or so. And as I started noticing there being a trend towards more healthier food, price increases, tax increases, I was looking to sort of diversify my risk away from a physical bricks and mortar food business. And that's when I sort of started coming across these online blog income reports. So I thought I'd give that a go, and I started a personal finance website. And within a year, it was like doing $1,000 a month. So that was pretty cool. I was thinking, okay, there's definitely something here. It's not just all nonsense that you can make money online. I started getting into SEO and understanding on-page, off-page, link building. And that's when I got into Haro. That's when I started pitching the journalists in order to get like the biggest links that you could get. It took me a while before I got my first one, but then I got my first one and it was massive. It was a New York Times do follow link. So I was really pleased with that, and I started to hone my system, started to realize what the journalists were looking for, and that's when I decided to think about outsourcing some of the other link building strategies. So I wanted to do some like inner page guest post linking in order to rank some of the more profitable pages on the site. I didn't have time to do that as well as like the Haro. So I outsourced that to who is now my business partner. And the way that we got started was he looked at my link profile on my finance website and said, you know, he could definitely help me with the guest posting, but he wanted to know, where did I get all these like New York Times, New York Post, Forbes, where did I get these links from? I explained to him I'd been doing Haro, and he said, did he think I could do that for some of his clients? So I said, yeah, I can't see that being a problem. And then that's how Linkify just organically grew from there.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. I remember the time when these kind of income reports were very popular on the web. So Niche Pursuits, Pat Finn was there as well. I'm talking about back in 2012. And Matthew Woodwards was in those kind of things, and that was very good to see all these kind of reports kind of framing like, hey, maybe we can have the same kind of things. So yeah, that's pretty exciting story I can really think of. So fast forward to today, what do you think of the SEO these days? Do you think a lot has been changed in the recent years, especially after COVID, you could say?
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of drama in recent months. I think it's a constant battle with Google to for them to try and deliver the highest quality pages on their end. They're also trying to keep up with the other big companies releasing AI. I don't know whether or not they were necessarily ready to release AI overviews and these sorts of changes that they're making to the SERPs.
Yep.
The affiliate space was hit badly, but I think there's still, there's still going to be 10 organic spots on page one, so there's still a boatload of organic traffic to be had. And as per the the recent Google leak, one can assume that links are still a very, very important part of the algorithm, especially links on big publications, tier one publications on fresh news pages. So that's the sort of links that we build. So
Yep.
almost a validation from that point. And ecom, I think, is a really interesting space right now. And I think if you want to have access to free organic traffic, it's still there, and you just need to implement the things that are still working. And link building is one of them. Good quality links is going to help you rank, and you can access that free organic SEO traffic, which is still there, albeit being dominated by the more authoritative sites. But that's why we do the link building, is to grow the authority of the site.
Yeah, no, I completely agree to that. Link building is still one of a main ranking factor in the Google algorithm. I guess in this recent Google leak, they try to have a lot of emphasis on the same thing as well, like why the digital PRs, why the guest posts are really taking a lot of things. And moreover, I guess like Google try to take these kind of things in their EAT factors as well. So definitely a big one. So let's get more into the link buildings. Like let's try to deep dive into that. What's working in link building right now, you think? Like what are some of the techniques you reckon that which are really working so good to move the needle in the SERPs?
So, well, we do white hat link building only. So we only do either expert quote building. So Haro now connectively is the
Yep.
biggest provider of that sort of link
Yep.
building. So that's inbound requests from journalists looking for expert quotes in order to bolster their article. And then also we do digital PR campaigns. So that's where we are reaching out to journalists in order to try and take the story to them. I think currently it's becoming quite crowded. With the advent of AI, it's really easy to answer journalist requests. It's also really easy to put together a press release. You can do it faster than ever. But I also think that means it provides for a golden opportunity to do it better than the noise, stand out in amongst the crowd. And this is now also the time where I think relationship nurturing is going to have the highest ROI in the long run for this sort of link building. So if you're answering journalist requests as an expert, there's many things I can go into which can set you up for success in order to do that. But if you are nurturing any relationships, if a journalist is coming back to you, feature you in my article and give you a citation, give you a link, then you should take that opportunity to continue engaging with that journalist and build relationships. Same with your digital PR. If you are running campaigns that gets picked up by certain journalists from certain publications, you need to nurture those relationships and have ongoing conversations. As the space becomes more crowded with more people trying to win links this way, the journalists are going to fall back on the trusted people that they have used historically, and that's where I see the future for being able to do this sort of link building over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, but one of a common problem, what I've actually seen myself is like when doing this Haro stuff, most of the time the journalists, they try to link back to the homepage. They don't really, let's say I've got an inner page, which I really want to get rank in SERPs. And if you even try to do the Haro, giving out the right kind of answers or whatever, then still they link back most of time to the homepage. And here it is really hard sometimes to actually convince the client that because the client, they say, hey, we asked you guys to actually give us a link to our inner page, and all the links has come to the homepage. So how do you guys actually justify that kind of thing in your agency?
Well, I mean, link building, it needs to be a holistic strategy. So you're correct. Any sort of PR link building, whether it's expert quotes or running digital PR campaigns, 99.9% of the time, it's going to be a link to the homepage. On the expert quote side, 99.9% of the time, it's going to be to the homepage, and you need to have the rest of your SEO utilizing that homepage link juice as best you can. So you need to funnel that link juice and grow the authority of the overall website, and that's going to boost all of your other SEO efforts. So the rest of your off page and also your on page SEO. As you are building more and more homepage links, then you are high authority homepage links. You're doing two things. You're growing the and solidifying the EEAT of the website. So any manual inspections from a Google search quality rater, if they can see visibly on the front page that you've been featured in huge sites, it just goes further to instill trust with them and also with your customers. That can obviously increase to higher conversions of sales, more trust, and you're building a brand. And then you may get more branded searches, which again is going to improve what Google thinks of you as well. So there are huge amounts of benefits to it. Should you only build homepage links? You know, if you're in a high competition niche, casino, for example, they're buying inner page links all day, every day. But they also do need the homepage links in order to grow the authority of the domain and a healthy looking backlink profile as well. So a healthy mix of do follow, no follow. And that's what we recommend. And then on the digital PR side, again, it's likely going to be a homepage link. You can get a bit more granular with it and start looking to produce some data campaigns. And that way you can encourage the journalists to cite the actual data, which can live on an inner page on your website. Then if that inner page on the website is closely aligned with one of your category pages, product pages, or one of your money pages, then you can have some really nice internal link structure there where you're going to pass that juice to the inner page and filter it through to the other pages that you want to boost.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very solid point. And this is out of box theory I can really think of, because most of the time, if you're trying to outreach, they might gonna give us a link back to the homepage. But if there is a relevant data kind of a thing, in that case, to justify their articles, it could be on a Forbes, it couldn't be anywhere else. They're gonna link back to that particular inner page, and then we're gonna leverage out that authority by using an interlink from that page itself to the main page. So yeah, no, that's actually a very solid point. I didn't really think of, to be honest. So
yeah, and that's the way that you can try and spread the link juice. I mean, let's say you're running an e-com site and you're selling footballs, let's say. It's going to be quite hard to have any journalist link directly to your product or category football page. It's not going to provide value to the reader, and it's not going to make sense like editorially within the actual article. But if you're doing a big data piece on where the most footballs are purchased in the UK on the run up to the Euros, let's say, and the journalist runs with that story, then they're likely going to link to that data study, which can live on a page. And then from that page, you can link out to, let's say, your the footballs for kids, footballs for actually link out to those product and category pages, internally link from that page.
Once the campaign is all finished, they can always go and they can use the interlink power to
exactly. Yeah.
Just a quick question. How do you actually differentiate the Haro and digital PR? Because we see them as the same thing, isn't it?
Okay. Good question. Yeah. There's two main differences, I would say. So the first main difference is Haro, which is now Connectively, or any expert quote, which is where the journalist is requesting expert commentary, and that can be via the Connectively platform. It can be via Twitter, X. It can be via a number of other platforms. And that is them casting a wide net, looking for expertise to come to them in order for them to quote you within an article that they are already working on. So the benefits of that are that you can cherry pick to a certain extent the domains, because they'll almost always tell you what publication it is that they're writing for. You can align the expertise of yourself or your brand in order to match with a query that makes sense. And often they're not looking for you to come up with anything sort of crazily interesting or out of the box thinking. They're just looking to leverage your expertise as an expert. So as long as you correctly position yourself as an expert, and your quote does have, you know, an element of linguistic flurry or interesting turn of phrase, you got a high chance of winning, and then you'll win the link. Now the downside to that is it's not going to be 100% matching necessarily with your brand voice or your brand, but it's much more of an SEO play. So if you're in the real estate niche, let's say, then we can answer expert commentary or requests on things like real estate queries, interior design queries, and we can win links on some huge websites. And another thing is many of the websites that do expert quotes, or the journalists that are writing for the publications that do expert quote commentary, they're not receptive to PR. Now, PR campaigns on the other side is where we are actively ideating that resonates with the brand and also is going to be interesting in the news. And then we are selecting the journalists and then reaching out to them, hoping that it hits their inbox, piques their interest. They open the email and they go, oh, this is an interesting story. And then they'll run the story. And the advantage of that is often you'll be the only person within the article. And it will be much more aligned with your brand, your vision, and much more control over the content of that piece.
Okay, yeah. So for that one, it is actually very important because Haro is something I'm like every second or third vendors I usually see, they're running these kind of campaigns these days. But the digital PR is kind of a different, because for that one, I guess like it is very important to have a strong industry relationship with these journalists as well. And that's something actually what Linkfy separates from the crowd as well, isn't it?
Yeah. The relationship part of that side, I can be with the expert quote side as well, but definitely with the, I mean, the two work hand in hand. But yeah, the relationship side is, you know, if you've worked with journalists for a number of years, they're much more likely to open your email than if you just start running a PR campaign on day one. So yeah, it's a huge part of it. But also coming up with something interesting and working well with the client, setting clear expectations to the client. You know, the story, albeit is going to be of, you know, relevance to them, their brand, what they're doing, it still has to be something interesting. If you're operating a SaaS tool that validates email addresses, we can't just reach out to journalists and say, we have an interesting story for you. This email validation SaaS tool has just celebrated its first birthday. No one's going to care. So you have to come up with something interesting that's going to resonate with them. Yeah.
So Chris, just a quick question. I know you are into the vendor space as well. Haro, for some of the people who are just starting out on a bootstrap budget, they've got kind of an affiliate sites maybe. What do you think would be the easiest way for them to grab some Haro links? What could be those step-by-step strategy would be for them in just a few quick pointers only?
Okay, so on Connectively, you get 5 free pitches per month. Best thing to do is find your competition. So whatever niche you're in, you should know 2, 3, 4, 5 of the big dogs in your niche. Go and look at their homepage and see if they've got a featured in on their homepage. Okay, if they've got featured in and they've got some logos, that's going to give you an indication as to the 4 or 5 sites that they themselves have won links for via Haro. So if you are in the garden space and you go to a couple of your gardening affiliate site competitors or e-com site competitors, at some point you're going to come across a site that's got some logos on the front, and you're going to see maybe Homes and Gardens, Better Homes Gardens, The Sun, the Daily Express. Okay, so you're going to see 4 or 5 of these domains where you know that they have almost certainly won these links via Haro Connectively. Then sign up for a Connectively account. It's 5 free pitches per month, and look for the requests coming from those 4 or 5 domains that you've seen from your competitors, because A, you know your competitors have won links from these domains, publications. B, you know that they are operating on these platforms, and C, you know you have a really good chance of winning them. That way you can utilize your 5 free pitches. Yeah, and you've got a good chance of winning them because your competitors already won them. So I think that's one of the best strategies to get started.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's actually a very solid point. But you said that connectively. I mean, like I thought like Haro Help or Report or something.com is another platform as well. And there are plenty of other platforms on the space as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Harrow's now changed. It's rebranded to Connectively. So
Okay,
the
got
helpareporterout.com web platform doesn't exist anymore. It's the Haro queries are via the Connectively platform.
it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And another quick question. Let's take a hypothetical scenario. Someone is coming in. It could be the affiliate side. It could be the local business as well. So, in your experience, what are the top five type of backlinks that you think are actually working in 2024 at the moment?
I mean, outside of digital PR links.
Yeah, it could be a digital PR, any kind of like a backlinks. It could be the guest post, it could be link insertions kind of thing, or Haro or digital PR kind of things. What are the kind of links you think is actually working really good these days to help get them better rankings in SERPs?
Well, we like to be we're a white hat link building
Yep,
company. So while we appreciate the need for a holistic strategy, we only do white hat link building, editorially earned links. So we don't pay for links. We
yep,
don't recommend that you pay for links. So although we see the merit and we see it working time and time again. I mean, there's no casino site that's ranking well that isn't paying for links week in, week out. And I wouldn't say to them, stop paying for links because they're going to
yep,
lose their rankings. But for us, I think if you can produce linkable assets and content which is going to organically pick up natural links, and you can get really creative with your PR as well. Like
yep,
you can do like some product PR, some much more stunty PR as well.
yep,
That's working really well, especially for bigger brands.
yep.
But yeah, so I would say digital PR and the two routes that I've said, Haro Connectively and then the actual campaigns, but then also some broaden the scope of that and what you can achieve as well.
Yeah, that's true. And is that those skyscraper kind of things actually still work? You reckon these days that's where something you get help the clients to do it? For example, the client they does not really have an kind of an idea. They're just like a local business. They don't know what kind of like a perfect piece of article they should be published on their website. Is that something you guys help them as well on? Okay, just go find out these kind of an articles, then go find out the top 10 ranking sites. You know the skyscraper theory?
Yeah. My business partner used to do skyscraper, and
Right.
it worked well for a period, and then everybody started doing it, and then it just became a pay to play. So, I mean, you can run a skyscraper campaign now, but every single site that you reach out to is going to ask for payment for a placement of link, and then you're in the sort of gray black hat territory of buying links. I mean, there's been influencers and people reporting recently of
Yeah,
being manually de-indexed from and having penalties
I know.
because of
Yeah.
guest post linking. So it depends your risk tolerance. It depends whether or not it's the sort of approach you want to take. But I mean, for us, even in of itself, running like a skyscraper campaign is quite for beginners as well. It's quite resource heavy, and you need to know what you're doing. I think it's much easier just to sign up for a free Connectively account and just as an expert, make sure you're an expert and pitch the request that makes sense to do. I think it's a much easier way to get started.
Yeah, yeah. Just a very couple of questions I've got now, which is the March algorithm update. We know like it was a crazy one, especially this helpful content update was another big crazy one where they wiped out a lot of sites from the web, you
Mhm.
know. So what do you think about it for the people? And I know it is a little a topic different from the link building now. What do you think for the people who have got hit from this March update and how they can go about actually recover the rankings for their website?
Yeah, well, it's tricky. Whether or not we're going to see recoveries, Google have said that sites can recover. That's going to take a lot of analysis, I think, to try and see what it is that you've been
Because
doing wrong over the
yeah,
months or years.
if you ask me, like we were having a lot of sites on our rank trackers as well. Some of the
Yeah.
sites I didn't see even a single site which can actually say that it has been recovered properly
Mm.
from this March algorithm update. But my views could be different than yours. Then that's one of the reasons I'm just thinking like if there is any kind of like a thing you can think of which can really help the people who have got kind of a hit from this March update.
It's tricky because I mean Google may have like classified the whole site for one reason or another. It's going to depend on every single case by case basis. I know some people have been chatting about having some success with buying a new domain and then just redirecting all the content onto the new domain, starting fresh. Well, repurposing the content and rebuilding it on a new domain. I don't know. It's tricky. It depends. I mean, we've seen some brutal drops as well. You know, people with hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of organic monthly sessions, and
Yeah,
there's just flat line to nothing.
yeah,
So whether or not it's worth recovering at that point, I mean, or just starting again, I'm not sure. I think we need to see how it plays out. There's so much happening, so much changing. For us, if you haven't engaged in like, I mean, I'm not anti-gray black hat at all, but for
yeah,
me, it's just if you don't do any of that and you do get hit, um, then it could make it easier to just rule out, well, I haven't done anything outside of the Google guidelines, therefore I can like assume that that's not the issue, and then you
yeah.
can look at your content, your internal links, look at your competitors. Whereas if you've been doing every strategy under the sun and you're hit, it's going to take a lot of analysis of your site and
Yeah.
to get to the root cause of it. So yeah, it's tricky. It's not
It,
been fun for a lot of people.
yeah, I know it wasn't actually, and especially for some of the people where they were doing all the general stuff, and
Yeah.
then even the whitehead link building, the handwritten content. I've actually seen that kind of sites as well, and still it tanked. And
Hmm.
I think Google didn't really justify the things properly for most of the people, and it might gonna happen that they're gonna roll out that kind of a campaign. I don't know. Even yesterday, also they have rolled another spam update.
Another spam. Yeah.
That spam update could be something relevant to the off-page SEO. Who knows it? But
Yeah.
I guess looking at the stuff with the digital PR, I think the people should be very much confident because it is 100% natural way of building out the backlinks from the authority links, which are actually those sites which are actually getting millions kind of a traffic on their website.
Mm.
So there is
Eh,
no as such kind of a risk actually involved
mm.
in that case, I would really say. So just a very
Yeah.
common question for the day today is, Chris, like building a brand identity in a niche is really very important, and a lot of people do actually challenge for these kind of things. So what tips do you have for creating a strong brand identity presence for the people or the brands in their niche? What do you think of that?
Mm. Take the be everywhere approach, coupled with digital PR. So get yourself featured in and align yourself with huge publications, and other authority sites within your niche. Be on podcasts, be everywhere on social.
Yep.
Um, you have to be everywhere now. That's the way that you build a brand, and with digital PR, that's the way that you can do it algorithmically and like tell Google. Um, you can get expert authors for your site as well, and
Yep.
just align yourself with people that have already got a voice within your space,
Yep.
and enhance your voice as well by being everywhere. You know, there's all these social platforms now that uh, you'll see the best brands. They're on all of them and they're doing all of them well. So
Yep.
I wouldn't recommend just if you're not on anything, then starting with everything. Start small, but eventually, you need to try and have your voice everywhere. You need to utilize strategies like repurposing content across multiple different platforms, different formats of content, short form, long form, on video. Do podcasts like this,
Yep.
if you can. Outreach to people, ask them if you can talk to them. Go to networking events as well. Get to
Yep.
know other people.
All the
Um,
help. Yeah.
yeah, do it all.
No, no, that's completely agree. I completely
Yeah,
agree because
don't expect to sleep.
yeah, no, it's kind of omnipresent approach they have to take it to get a big brand visibility for a big something big they really want to create.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, that's all true. Now, thanks for that, Chris. I really appreciate the time you have given us today. And for the people, for the viewers who are going to be watching this video once it goes live, like if they want to know more about you, your brand or something, what is the best place for that? Is that LinkedIn? I'm definitely gonna put Linkify as well. Is there anywhere else they can reach out to you?
Yeah, go blinkify.io. All our socials are on there. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn underscore, LinkedIn, Chris Panteli. And if you go to the website, if you want to book a call, have a chat, see if we can help you with digital PR.
Sure.
There's like a Calendly booking widget on the site as well. So
Yep,
yeah,
for sure. I'll put all these different links in the video description as well for you.
awesome. All right. Well, thanks for having me, Aaron. It's been really
All
good.
right. Thank you. Thanks for that, Chris. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Bye-bye.